Why is it that someone can build a successful company, manage employees, raise a family, lead teams, under pressure, achieve financial success? Success can hide certain realities. It creates an illusion of progress because you receive praise, recognition, promotions, and even business growth. And because those areas are improving, it becomes easy to assume everything else is also better or well. But health operates differently. Let me ask you a question. Why is it that someone can build a successful company, manage employees, raise a family, lead teams, under pressure, achieve financial success, all that, yet still struggle to consistently look after themselves? Think about that for a moment, because this isn't a knowledge problem. Most successful people know what healthy looks like. Moving more, eating better, sleep enough, manage stress. The information isn't hidden. It's not a secret. The real question is, why do intelligent, disciplined, and capable people continue to delay their own health? And I think the answer is much deeper than people realize. And if you stay till the end, I'll share the single framework I've seen help more professionals regain control of their health than any diet, workout plan, or fitness challenge. I don't think successful people fail because they lack discipline. In fact, they're often among the most disciplined people you'll ever meet. It requires discipline to achieve success. The problem is that many successful people have become experts at solving everyone else's problems. Clients, employees, customers, partners, financial responsibilities, you name it. We are wearing too many hats. There's always something demanding their attention. And over time, something very subtle happens. They become reactive instead of intentional. Every day becomes a response to external demands. And when your life becomes a constant reaction to everyone else's priorities, guess what? Your own priorities slowly disappear. Not because you don't care, but because there's always something more urgent than you. One thing I've noticed is that success can hide certain realities. It creates an illusion of progress because you receive praise, recognition, promotions, and even business growth. They are all external indicators that things are going well, right? And because those areas are improving, it becomes easy to assume everything else is also better or well. But health operates differently. Health doesn't care about your income. Health doesn't care about your title. Health doesn't care about your achievements. Your body responds to what you consistently do, not to what you have accomplished. Which is why many people wake up one day and think, what the hell happened? Not because it happened overnight, but because busyness, which is, I know it's not a proper word, but it fits this narrative, distracted you from paying attention to yourself, just being too busy. Here's something interesting, and it's a self-neglecting paradox. As a successful business professional, you're willing to invest heavily in things that create your growth, courses, business coaching, educational or personal development and professional development courses, all that. Yet when it comes to yourself, you become surprisingly impatient. You tolerate things you'll never accept in a business. You tolerate poor habits. You tolerate recurring physical complaints. And you also tolerate feeling disconnected from your own well-being. Now imagine if a business had the same maintenance strategy. Just ignore small issues, delay the repairs, and hopefully problems disappear and solve themselves. Eventually, the cost becomes greater than prevention. The same principle applies to your health, guys. The earlier you address something, the easier it is to manage it and fix it. One of the biggest traps I see is what I call the after this mentality. After this project, after this quarter, after this holiday, after this busy period, after this deadline. The challenge is that life never stops presenting new reasons to postpone. There will always be another project, another responsibility. And eventually, years pass by. Not because people chose to neglect themselves, but because they kept postponing themselves every time. Guys, quit moving the goalpost. Your health is at stake here. Take it seriously. Something I hear frequently during my consultation is, I used to be in much better shape. I used to have more energy. I used to run. What's interesting is that they're usually not talking about appearance. They're talking about how they felt. More capable, more resilient, more confident in their ability to take care of themselves. They had more energy. Because underneath every health goal is usually a deeper desire. People don't just want results. They want to feel confident and good about themselves. They want to know that when they make a commitment to themselves, they will follow through no matter what. Guys, that's called self-integrity. And that's something many busy professionals quietly struggle with at the moment. But here's how to regain control. There is a solution. Thank God. If you recognize yourself in this conversation, here are 3 practical things you can start doing right now to make a change. Number 1, stop chasing outcomes and start building standards. Most people focus on goals, losing weight, getting fit. Instead, ask, what standard does the person I want to become live by? That's a whole different ballgame, because standards create consistency, and consistency builds a new identity. Number 2, take a personal audit. Take 15 minutes, write down what is currently helping you. Which habits are currently hurting you? What are you tolerating that needs attention? Awareness creates clarity, and clarity creates purposeful action. Number 3, and the last one, schedule maintenance. If you maintain your car, your finances, your business, and your home, why not maintain yourself as well? Health should be scheduled, not squeezed in when you have time. Scripture says, and this is Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. These are really wise words, guys. Everything flows from the condition of the person. Your leadership, your relationships, your decisions, and your habits. So a good question will be, thank you for asking, what condition are you in? Or what condition am I in? If you neglect yourself, eventually everything downstream will be affected. So what's the method I promised at the beginning? The answer is simple. Stop treating health as a goal. Start treating health as an identity. Goals end, identities remain. When you start identifying yourself as someone who values themselves, and therefore you value your health, decisions become easier, consistency becomes easier, and priorities will be clear. You'll know exactly what to do, because you're no longer asking, should I do this? You're now asking, what will the person I want to become do in this situation? At BeyondFit, we don't help people become obsessed with fitness. We're not a gym. We help people become aligned with the version of themselves they want to become. Stronger, more capable, more intentional, more resilient, more energized. Because success shouldn't come at the expense of your health. It should be supported by it. And perhaps the biggest sign of success isn't what you've built or what you've achieved. It's whether you managed to build it without losing yourself in the process. My name is David Billy. And remember, always protect your most valuable asset, you.